ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय। हरि ओम। Today we will read verse number 33 and we will see its meaning. Aham krutiyo lasati grasitva kim tasya karyam parishishtamasti kinchit vijanati sanatmanonyat tasya sthitim bhavayitum kshamakah. तस्य स्थितिं भावयितुं क्षमः कः। In this verse, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi describes the state of a realized master. Realized master doesn't have any ego. Aham bhav, individuality, sense of individuality, that I am so and so, I am jiva, I am good person. No such kind of identity is there. He is not a person. He is Brahman. He is pure consciousness. That's why here it is said, Aham krutiyo lasati grasitva. He eats up ego. He has devoured ego. Grasitva. Still now he was thinking that he is an individual, he is a seeker, or he is a devotee, or whatever identity may be there. But now he has understood that true identity is beyond all conditionings. Somebody asked one Mahatma that how can I love God? How can I become one with God? So that Mahatma said, you have to empty your heart of all those things which you have created. You just make your mind free. Then you will realize that God is not very far. He is sitting right here. So same thing, if ego is dominating our personality, ego is very powerful, then that God is hiding, the truth is hiding. But here, in the case of realized master, by constant reflection, contemplation, he has understood the nature of ego, that ego cannot be the final truth. It continuously changes. It is relative. In relation with something, one ego comes, then other ego comes. So, grasitva. He has killed that ego, or removed, or eaten up, whatever word you can use. But he is egoless person. He may use the word I am going, I am coming, But within his heart, he knows that this is only for transactional purpose. It is only for practical purpose, just for communication, for interaction. I am using this I. But I am very clear about my identity, that I am Sat, I am pure consciousness, I am bliss. Now, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi asked one question. Actually, for all of us, he is asking and he is replying also. He says, for such a man who has understood his true nature, can some duty remain to be done? Kim tasya karyam parishishtam asti? Duty is related with jiva, that individual. Because that individual is a limited entity and he wants to gain something, he wants to achieve something. So praptavya, in Sanskrit it is called praptavya. He has to attain something. And therefore, he has got a lot of duties. In order to get his desired result, he must work in a particular fashion. So that is called kartavya, duty. But this man of realization, he is full of happiness. He is happy with himself. So there is nothing to be gained or attained. So there cannot be any question of duty. Tasya karyam na vidyate. In the last lecture we have seen. There is one verse in Sanskrit where it is said, Jnanamrutena truptasya kritakrutyasya yogina. Na asti kinchit kartavyam asti chet na satatvavid. Meaning, this realized master who is established in that knowledge, who is filled with the ambrosia of knowledge, Jnanamrut, and has done whatever was to be done, whatever has to be done. So he doesn't have any duty. And if he feels that he has got duty, means he is not realized master. Nasa tattvavid. See, it is like this when you go to college and you appear for the final exam, final year final exam. And by God's grace, you pass that exam. Now you are free from that college. You don't have to attend classes, you don't have to do any homework, you don't have to appear in any exam, because all what was to be done, you have done. Mukta. Similarly, here also, seeker, when he was practicing all spiritual sadhana, he had to attain that goal. And by continuous practice, he could attain the final realization. Now he doesn't need to do anything. So the question comes, does that wise man or realized master sit idle? Is he a lazy person? So the answer is given that he will work, but he will work with a difference. Not sitting all the time, whole day under a tree. He will be working, but without any attachment. He will work out of happiness, not for happiness. He will work to share his joy and love for all. He will render his service to the mankind, and he will help all of them to grow spiritually, intellectually, mentally. So from all levels, he will work with them, and then people will be benefited. sarvabhuta hite rata. Actually, there is no duty that he must do. Even Vedas also can't compel him to do. It is said that scriptures shy away from giving any instructions. Veda kinkaro bhavati. Veda also becomes servant. Means they say, now you are free from us. You don't have to follow us. It doesn't mean that he does some wrong thing, because in all his lifetime he has been engaged in all good activity. So after realization, suddenly he cannot become a negative person, or he will not engage himself in negative activity. Point here is, he doesn't have any doership, kartrutva bhav. So no kartavya. And as I said, no goal is remaining for him to achieve. So already he has achieved what has to be achieved. So therefore, na parishishtam asti. He performs all the actions as per the need of that moment. He may work for society, or he may sit under a tree. But a person who has got ignorance, who is ignorant, and who has got that ego, for such persons, scriptures say, you have to do this, you should not do this. Vidhi nishedhatmak action is there. Code of conduct is there. But for such realized masters, there is no such thing remaining for him. He is enjoying the freedom. There is a freedom in action, not freedom from action. And they say this is the true freedom. So tasyas kim tasya karyam parishishtam asti. And then he says that his state, his sthiti, his abidance, ignorant person can't understand, can't imagine that such thing also can happen. It's a beautiful line. Tasya sthitim bhavayitum kshamakkaha. Who can conceive his state of being? Means we cannot understand his level. See, it is like this. A child is there. A grown-up person is there. Child cannot understand the state of mind of the elderly person. Child is not mature enough to understand and to know the mind of a grown-up person. Same way, we are like kids, we are like children. And this realized masters, they are like mature people, grown-up people. Their way of looking is different, their vision is different, their thinking is different, conduct is different. But yes, from outside, ignorant person and realized master look alike. They also eat, they also see, they also walk. All realized masters. Don't think that some two wings will come out from their body and two horns will come out from their head. That's why earlier Raman Maharshi has said, Dehatma bhave gyajadau samano. For all practical purposes, both of them, they look same. They also talk, they also walk, everything. But the difference is inside. So now how to understand that realized master? What is the way out? If I want to know realized master, what is the upaya? Only one upaya is there, one method is there, and that is you become realized master. जीवन मुक्ताचे लक्षण जीवन मुक्त जाणे. In Dasbodh, Samarth Ramdas Swami says, Jivan Mukta means this realized master, enlightened person. You want to know him, you become enlightened. And therefore, here what is the message for all of us? That listen, Shravanam, Pauna Punyena. Again you go on doing Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasana. Slowly you will mature enough to understand state of this realized master. Realized master, he doesn't have any, expectation from world. If anybody criticizes, he smiles. So all his reactions are very different than ignorant person. If somebody criticizes us, immediately we react. We also start condemning. We get angry. But he is not sama. There was one monkey and he was throwing coconut at that Mahatma. So what that Mahatma did? He broke that coconut, drank the water and made a bowl out of that shape. And he smiled at that monkey. This is the example. If somebody is criticizing you, he sees something positive in that also. So therefore it is said, Tasya sthitim bhavaitum kshama. No, he doesn't have that normal, responses or reaction. Because his vision is very different. They say, can you see perfect apple with imperfect eyesight? You cannot. You have to change your eyesight, then only you can see. You have to change the way of looking at these things. This is a jnana chakshu, eye of knowledge. Ugarai vimala vilochanahi ke, Tulsidas ji says in Ramayana. Their jnana chakshu are opened up. That's why they don't complain about anything. They are happy in all states. So such is the level of that highest, that master. Tasya sthitim bhavaitum kshamah. He is so flexible, he is so adjustable, he is not rigid. They say, if your hand, they always remain open or they always remain closed, means it is sign of crippled hand. Good hand is that which can open also and which can close also. A bird has got wings, and those wings should be perfect, then only it can fly. Same way, our mind also should be flexible, not rigid. This Mahatma, he is happy in all situations. According to situation, he adjusts himself. He doesn't expect that situation will change and then I will become happy. हम है राजी जिसमें रजा तेरी है. In Hindi they say, I am happy. He is saying to God that whatever is your desire, that is my desire. Whatever you want, I also want same thing. I don't have any separate, desire or wanting anything. So such person is happy all the time. Now when Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi is praising such person, a seeker, he has heard this. And he said, how can I get this enlightenment? So Raman Maharshi says in the next verse that if you listen to Tattvamasi Mahavakya, now he is quoting Tattvamasi Mahavakya. It is from Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad. He says if you listen to that Mahavakya, great statement again and again, then you will understand the identity between this individual soul and Supreme Brahman. You will understand that they are not two different entities, and that is enlightenment. So now see what he says. Ahasputam tattvamasiti vedah tathapya samprapya paratmanishtham bhuyo vicharo mati durbalatvam tatsarvada swatmataya hi bhati. Ahasputam tattvamasiti vedah tathapya samprapya paratmanishtham bhuyo vicharo mati durbalatvam tatsarvada swatmataya hi bhati. He says tattvamasi iti vedah sputam aham. The Vedas, they clearly said that Tattvamasi, this is Mahavakya. There are 4 Mahavakya. Ayam Atma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Prajnanam Brahma. In all 4 Mahavakyas, one thought has been given, and that is Jiva Brahma Aikya. Identity between individual Jiva and Brahman. Generally, we think that Brahman is something different from me. It is unlimited, it is infinite, I am finite being. It is all pervading, I am conditioned by time and space and body. So I am different from Supreme Consciousness or Brahman. But Veda says no, you have not understood yourself properly. Guru, the teacher, again and again, teaches to student that Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. In Chandogya Upanishad 9 times, Uddalak Rishi has said this to Shvetaketu, using different examples, different logics. Again and again, finally he was coming to the same point, that you, that thou art. Consciousness doesn't have any different, types, different forms, different species. Consciousness is one. So with lot of reasoning and logic, it has been proved that there cannot be difference in Atma and Paramatma, Atma and Brahman. So Bhagavan Raman Maharshi says, you listen to this. But what is it? Yes, I have been listening to this. But somehow I am not getting abidance in this knowledge. That enlightenment is not happening. Realization is not happening. Still I maintain the difference between Brahman and myself. Therefore many people, they take the meaning of this Tattvamasi Mahavakya differently. They say, this statement says that you are part of Brahman. Tat means that God, and Tvam, you are just part. There is a whole and part relationship. Ansha Anshi Sambandha is there. Some people say master and servant. That relationship is there. That Brahman is master, God is master, and you are servant. But actually, here Raman Maharshi says, Sputam, very clearly Veda says there is no relationship is there between these two things. They are same. Tattvamasi. not tasya tvamasi or taccha tvamcha asi. You can interpret this Mahavakya in different way, but as far as Vedas are concerned, they are very clear. The Jiva Brahma Ekya is the final truth. So when that seeker listens to this statement, he doesn't have any doubt about that statement, but he says, asamprapya paramatmanishta. I am unable to get that abidance in this truth, in this reality. Why it is happening so? Again and again I listen, still it happened. So here beautiful explanation is given by Ramana Maharshi. He says, mati durbalatvam. It is weakness of your mind that is causing this problem. Your mind is not strong enough to hold this knowledge. When that container is weak, then what happened? The thing which is kept in that, it will just wasted, it will flow out. If suppose there is a hole in that container, then what happened? Everything will go. Same way here, mati durbalatva. It is not strong to hold that knowledge. Mati durbalatva. And why this mati has become durbal? What is the weakness of this mind? Why my mind has become weak? So there are hundreds of factors. Vasanas are there, worldly vasanas, impressions and craving for this world, desires, attachments. Because of this mind is so much occupied that it doesn't have any space to, keep this knowledge. Already it is full. This durbalatva. And one vasana is enough, Not that hundreds of vasanas are causing problem. Even one weakness, one vasana can hamper our, progress. Like if you are sleeping under a mosquito net, one mosquito is enough. If it enters into that mosquito net, it will disturb your sleep. One disease in the body is enough to give us trouble. Whole day we will be busy in thinking about that. My mind is occupied. So durbalatvam, there are weaknesses, different. Somebody has got weakness of getting angry, temperamental person, half temper, half mental. Some people have got problem of greed. They are so greedy. So this mati durbalatvam is causing hurdle, obstacle in realizing true nature. So Ramana Maharshi says, or that seeker asks, then what shall I do? If my mati is durbal, weak, and Upanishad also say, Nayam Atma Balahinena Labhya. This Atma cannot be attained or understood by weaklings. Our mind should be very strong, very pure, very subtle. So, Ramana Maharshi says, if you have got this, dosha in your mind, then what you should do? Bhuyo vicharo. Only one solution is there, and that is again and again you think, again and again you listen. Manasi vichintaya varam varam, Shankaracharya said. Again and again think. That is the only way out. If we have lost something in our house, what you do? Again and again you go on searching. You try this, you try that, and finally you get it. Now here the thing is not outside. It is not kept somewhere, not kept in some almirah or somewhere, in cupboard or anywhere. It is within us. So we have to again and again contemplate, meditate. Whatever scripture says, try to focus on all those thoughts. Like just now, Tattvamasi. How can I be Brahman? Just go on thinking. First listen and again think. Karata karata abhyas ke jadamati hot sujhan. Again and again when we think, then even jadamati, very gross, this intellect becomes subtle. And then finally we understand. So, bhuyo vichar. Again and again you think. If you cannot comprehend this, so it is because of your mind. There is no problem in that knowledge. There is no problem in Vedas. There is no problem in Guru. Knowledge is true. But problem is here. So, bhuyaha vichara. And you realize, Master, he is wondering, how can this ignorant person miss that thing? Because he himself. How do you manage to miss it? It is you yourself. But he knows, because his mind is very extroverted or full of all thought modifications. Therefore, he unable to comprehend. So, Ramana Maharshi said, no problem, again you do. Repetition is the only way out. Like in Bhagavad Gita also, Bhagavan says, Abhyasena tu kaunteya, vairagyena cha guruyate. Your mind is, if your mind is restless, oscillating from one object to other, you must practice it. Every day you must sit. So same thing here he says. And he says, Tat sarvada swatmataya hi bhati. That reality is not somewhere, outside. It is all the time shining as your own self, one's own self. So once your mind becomes fit, then you will realize this truth here. And there is no difference in that Brahman and yours. Very practical, this shlok. With this line you must remember. Bhuyo vicharo matidur balatva. Don't doubt that knowledge. The problem is because my mind has got a lot of vikaras. So our effort should be to remove that. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.